Everyone gets them, and it's the #1 consumer complaint in America today. Harassing phone solicitations are not only annoying, they're illegal, and the government can't stop them.
But tonight, in a year-long, groundbreaking News 13 investigation, Larry Barker takes on illegal telemarketing and fights back.
For the vast majority of them, they're jerks. They're horrible people.
People have to just fight back.
It's scary. It's gotten to the point where it's dangerous to answer your phone.
It's a daily barrage of aggravating phone calls by an army of anonymous peddlers. They're not only annoying, but billions of calls each year are illegal. These calls are for everything from hearing aids to discount cruises. Because of the flood of violations, the government cannot stop them all. So many brazenly defy the law with little fear of prosecution.
Please hold while we transfer you to the cruise line for your free cruise. This advice will give you the peace of mind that you need. This is the call regarding your timeshare and your maintenance fees.
Illegal practices, whether on a cell phone or landline, can include using pre-recorded sales calls, ignoring the do not call list, or using a phony caller ID. Janice Kopek is a staff attorney with the Federal Trade Commission.
Each of the operations that we have shut down in recent years have been responsible for sending out billions of illegal calls.
It's an epidemic. It is absolutely huge.
Ethan Garr is an expert in illegal telemarketing practices. We traveled to his New Jersey computer science lab, Teltech. His team develops technology designed to battle intrusive calling.
Telemarketers are making these calls not to annoy you, not to waste your time. They want to get to your money. They want to get your money. They want to get your identity. They want to hurt you because that's how they put money in their pockets. It's an awful way to make a living, in my opinion, but that's why they're doing it.
However, consumers do have the right to fight back. If you are receiving deceptive telemarketing calls, you can take the offender to court and seek damages. So we embarked on a year-long investigation to take on the anonymous phone peddlers. We began by collecting the evidence. Step one, who are these guys?
Do you know how the company got my number?
I don't.
Oh, I just would like to know how you got my number.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to help you there. I don't know. I can help you find health insurance.
Why can't you just give me your phone number? I mean...
Oh, because I don't even know the number. I'm just an inbound call center only. Like I called you. I've never had anybody call me. That's not my job.
What's your address in Orlando?
Oh, I don't know the address.
What's your name?
My name is Alan.
Alan.
Alan Greenspan.
Uh-huh.
Now, did you want to continue? Because if not, I got to help old people that are dying right now.
Our first illegal telemarketing call comes from a firm hawking insurance.
It's a life insurance plan, and it is designed to cover all of your final expenses.
The caller sets up a meeting with an Albuquerque insurance agent who said his company hired the telemarketer to find sales leads. The second telemarketer arranges an appointment to meet with traveling salesmen pitching timeshares.
The problem is the phone call that you made to me was unsolicited. You know, it was a robocall. You know what a robocall is?
That I do not.
The third robocall leads to this timeshare presentation at a local restaurant.
I'm a reporter with KRQE TV and here in Albuquerque. You all called me, okay. And the problem was that my phone is on the do not call list, and it was an unsolicited sales call.
Did you let the marketer know that at that time?
Well, the problem is that you can't make unsolicited robo-sales phones.
It takes us a year to investigate the backgrounds of all those phone solicitors. We were able to document the identity of nearly a dozen illegal telemarketers peddling everything from solar panels to vacation packages. Our evidence included stacks of documents, audio recordings, and undercover video. It's time to fight back. We took our research to Santa Fe attorney Sid Childress, who specializes in taking on illegal telemarketers.
I'm not in the business of asking people to apologize. I'm in the business of making people accept responsibility by paying what they owe. I think the only thing that would stop them would be to hit their pocketbook. I mean, that seems to be what they understand.
Using the evidence uncovered in our investigation, we filed nearly a dozen lawsuits in Albuquerque's State District Court. Our complaints allege violations of the Federal Telephone Consumer Protection Act and the New Mexico Unfair Practices Act. We asked a judge to impose monetary damages.
I think the goal for me as the attorney is that people accept some responsibility for illegal phone calls. I mean, if they're not going to stop the phone calls, if they're not going to stop doing business that way, I guess the goal is to make them accept responsibility under the statute, which is pay money.
2 telemarketers, Higher Response Marketing and Golden Ticket Getaways, ignored our complaints. Judges in both cases ordered the out-of-state firms to each pay a $10,000 default judgment, which remains uncollected. 9 telemarketing firms have settled their cases out of court. 2 additional cases are still pending. Now, while some individual settlement amounts are confidential, to date, we have collected more than $50,000 from telemarketing firms engaged in abusive sales practices.
What did these guys do that was wrong?
They called you in the first place. They used machines to call you, auto dialers and pre-recorded messages. Plenty of them used these fake caller ID numbers, and then when you answered, they wouldn't identify themselves.
Our investigation concludes with telemarketing firms paying us tens of thousands of dollars to settle our lawsuits. But it's not about the money. It's about holding illegal telemarketers accountable for their actions. Now, all of the settlement funds that we collected will be donated to charitable and nonprofit organizations. Your experience, what does it take for a telemarketer to get it? Stop harassing consumers.
They have to be sued and be made to pay money.
What's the message that the lawsuits I filed sent to the telemarketing industry?
Do not call Larry Barker.
Larry Barker, KRQE, News 13.
Wow. Well, not everyone can hire attorneys and file lawsuits. So how can you defend yourself from the daily barrage of illegal telemarketing calls? News 13 spent the last year investigating how consumers can protect themselves from this onslaught. Tomorrow night, Larry talks to the experts.
We want to help people. We want to help them get their phones back and be able to answer the phone knowing it's not a telemarketer or a scammer.
The second part of Larry Barker's explosive investigation tomorrow night on KRQE News 13 at 10.
Everyone at home is saying yes.
Yeah, no doubt.
Are you tired of harassing telemarketing calls? Last night, Larry Barker showed us how he took on illegal telemarketers by taking them to court, winning more than $50,000 in settlement fees. Tonight, Larry shows you how you can fight back. Here's part 2. Don't call Larry Barker.
It's a huge deal. This is an epidemic. It is a giant problem.
So what does it take for a telemarketer to get it?
They have to be sued and be made to pay money.
I think the vast majority of them are really horrible people. I hate to say it, but some of these people are out to really hurt people.
Alexander Graham Bell could not have imagined his invention would one day evolve from a communication device into a weapon of sorts. Today, Americans are besieged by hordes of anonymous peddlers who utilize the telephone to brazenly defy the law. Consider what we're up against.
Hello, this is Rachel at Cardholder Services, calling in reference to your current credit card account.
Hello, this call is from Microsoft Security Department. We encounter a serious issue coming out of your computer.
Hello, I'm calling from the Health Insurance Enrollment Center.
Hi, this is Todd with the Fulfillment Department. Your wellness package is ready to be shipped.
Janice Kopek is with the Federal Trade Commission.
We bring cases to go after the folks who are blasting out those illegal calls. Many of the more recent cases that we have brought have shut down operations that are responsible for billions of illegal calls.
Prohibited practices include robocalling, which is the use of mass-produced recorded sales pitches, disregard for the Do Not Call registry, and fake caller ID.
The extent of the problem is epidemic proportions. It's not a problem you can solve with legislation. It's a problem you have to solve with technology.
We traveled to New Jersey to meet with Ethan Garr. He's an executive with Teltech, a computer science lab that develops mobile apps aimed at battling illegal telemarketers.
The vast majority of them are scams and spam calls. They're unwanted telemarketers. They're the free cruises. It's Rachel from Cardholder Services. It's IRS phone scammers and people telling you that your computer's broken, and unless you let them log in, you're not going to be able to use your computer again.
Teltech's latest venture is a mobile app called RoboKiller. In 2015, RoboKiller won an FTC contest for its innovative approach to combating abusive telemarketers.
We block all those unwanted and annoying calls, but what's really cool is we answer those calls with answer bots, which are our own robots that waste the spammers' time by talking back to them for hours on end.
And if you thought being on the Federal Trade Commission's Do Not Call list protects you from illegal telemarketers, think again. With an estimated 3.8 billion illegal calls flooding America every month, government regulators are only able to crack down on a handful of egregious violators.
They have very little risk of being prosecuted. Many of these calls, probably the majority, originate overseas. It would be almost impossible for our government to find these people where they are and prosecute them. Even if you found them, it's likely that they would just close shop and open somewhere else.
So what can you do to stop the daily bombardment of annoying illegal sales calls? Well, you probably can't stop them from calling you altogether, but you can fight back.
Federal law allows consumers victimized by illegal telemarketers to sue them in court for monetary damages.
There are consequences for ignoring these laws that have been on the books now for over 20 years.
Santa Fe attorney Sid Childress specializes in suing telemarketers.
What's the message that these lawsuits sent to telemarketing firms that cannot abide by the law?
That they can and will be made to pay. I think that's what they understand loud and clear.
Childress has successfully sued dozens of shady telemarketers and has collected tens of thousands of dollars in damages for his clients.
I'm fed up with these calls. A lot of people are fed up with these calls, and so I'm going to make them pay.
Now, of course, not everyone has the time or resources to hire an attorney and file lawsuits. However, there's other things you can do to protect yourself. First, register all your phones, both landlines and mobile, on the Federal Trade Commission's Do Not Call registry. It only takes a minute or two, and while it won't protect you from crooked telemarketers, it will protect you from the honest ones. Now, it will take a little bit of technology to thwart those illegal callers. For example, install on your cell phone a call blocking app like RoboKiller, and you can prevent as much as 90% of the scammers and spammers from contacting you.
We want to help people. We want to help them get their phones back and be able to answer the phone knowing it's not a telemarketer or a scammer.
When your phone rings and you don't recognize the caller ID, let it go to voicemail. Telemarketers commonly will illegally spoof their caller ID to make it appear like it's a local call. Lastly, if you pick up the phone and a telemarketer or a scammer is on the line, don't engage them in conversation. Either put the phone down and walk away, or simply hang up.
So just be smart when you answer your phone and know that, don't take for granted that the person on the other side of the phone call is someone you can trust, no matter how nice they are.
Your opinion, do these guys have a heart?
No, I think mostly they have no heart.
Larry Barker, KRQE, News 13.
You will find some helpful links on our website, like what you need to know to sue robocallers and how to get on the national Do Not Call list. Go to alwayson.krqe.com. I am downloading that app right now.
What a great story.
Yeah.